A very good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Thursday. Now, these are our headlines. President Emmanuel Macron of France reiterated that if there had been a will, both his country and its Western and African partners could have stopped the genocide against the Tutsi. The plenary session of the Senate has commended the progress that has been in efforts to develop the country's agricultural cooperatives and address the challenges they have been facing, vowed to follow up on any lingering issues. We are glad to have you company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. On Thursday at Village Rugwiro, President Paul Kagame received Malu Dreyer, the president of the state of the Rhineland-Palatinate in Germany, and her delegation, who are in Rwanda, to attend the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. They discussed a particular new program to train young Rwandans in biosciences. Rwanda's Speaker of Parliament has met and held discussions with a delegation of members of Parliament from the Rhineland-Palatinate here in the country to join Rwandans in the 30th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi.
First and foremost, we are happy about the diplomatic relations that exist between our two countries and the many joint projects that they have supported us in. We also thank them for making the journey here to participate in the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. It is not the only reason why they are here, but it is among the reasons they are here, and we thank them for it.
The German delegation noted that in light of the long-standing bilateral relations between the two countries, he and his delegation are honored to be in Rwanda to join Rwandans as they commemorate the genocide against the Tutsi.
Rhineland-Palatinate, a local state in Germany, has a long twinning with Rwanda. I think very important in many topics, economic, healthcare. But a main point is the culture of remembrance. Yeah, many projects we can edit here in Rwanda, and healthcare, education, and it's very important for us that we have a twinning between such a successful state in Africa as Rwanda is, and that we part of this great success. Yeah. How a country developed, and it's amazing how huge this development in the last 30 years was, yeah. And we are a little bit proud that we part with our twinning of this success.
President Emmanuel Macron of France reiterated that if there had been a will, both his country and its Western and African partners could have stopped the genocide against the Tutsi. He made this statement as countries began to delegate their representatives for the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. Adam Squizera has more on this report.
France's role in the genocide against Tutsi is undeniably significant. This was confirmed by the declared report prepared by the experts appointed by the President of France, as well as the news report conducted by American legal experts. Both reports concluded that genocide against Tutsi was evident and visible to all. The President of France, Emmanuel Macron, who has designated his representative for the 30th commemoration of the genocide against Tutsi, emphasized that if they had a will, France, along with its partners in Europe and Africa, could have prevented this genocide. 26 years ago, former President of the United States of America, Bill Clinton, acknowledged that the genocide against Tutsi was a failure of the international community. This acknowledgement came during his state visit to Rwanda on March 25, 1998. Recently, President Joe Biden designated Bill Clinton to lead the U.S. delegation for the Rwanda's 30th commemoration of the genocide against Tutsi. Currently, the true meaning of the genocide against Tutsi is acknowledged by both United Nations and the African Union, whereas the UN designated April 7th as the International Day of Reflection on the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda, an event which also takes place in various powerful nations worldwide. Last month, the former South African President Thabo Mbeki confirmed his attendance at the 30th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda. In an interview with the South African Broadcasting Corporation SABC, Thabo Mbeki emphasized that the commemoration is a significant and a lesson for all Africans.
Next month, Rwanda will be marking the 30th anniversary of the genocide. President Kagame sent an invitation. I'll be going there because I think for us, all of us as Africans, that's an important anniversary to mark in order to address these issues about peace and stability on our continent.
Thabo Mbeki reiterated this perspective, citing the ongoing conflicts in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as a concrete indication of the genocide in that region, which is seen by international community. Dr. Philbert Gakwenzire, the president of Ibuka, also underscores this point, noting that while the progress has been made, there remains much work to be done to address the persistent spread of the genocide denial and ideology in certain countries. Apparently, when you see the international community, you find that it hasn't took any lesson from the genocide against Tutsi, because across the world, there are some countries or individuals who have found spreading the genocide ideology and denial, plus also distorting the history as well. The occasion of the 30th commemoration of the genocide against Tutsi, heads of state and governments from various countries are expected to join Rwandans in honoring the memory of the victims. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for that report. During the 30th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in every village in Rwanda, there will be a person in each village who will help those who will be dealing with trauma and give them basic aid, as announced by the Ministry of Health this Thursday in a press conference. We have more. The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has revealed that 10 non-government organizations are ready to help in this commemoration week. These organizations have also prepared those who will work with them from the cell level. Statistics provided by RBC show that the number of victims of trauma while at Kwibuka activities is decreasing. For example, from 2014 to 2020, the average number of people who would face a trauma while attending Kwibuka activities was around 4,000, but now in the last 3 years, the average number is 2,000 people.
We
have to enter the commemoration period strong. Rwandans, especially the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi, will need our joint effort to get through this tough time. It is our responsibility, but also an area to reflect upon the transformational journey of the past 30 years.
The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has so far cooperated with 10 non-government organizations which are ready to help those facing trauma in the country. Murisa Eme Josiane, an employee of GRG, says they are ready because some work has already started in different regions all around the country. Every cell has now a trained person who can be able to help those dealing with trauma. We work with organizations like Ibuka, Avega, where we go to different districts through an activity called Genocide Survivors into the community, where we talk to residents, especially the genocide survivors. We also thank the RPF soldiers that stopped the genocide and saved the country, a person who helped those that were being sought out in the genocide, and financial assistance and aid which is given to one survivor of the genocide. This is done in every district, and we believe it helps those that survived the genocide against the Tutsi, but the Rwandan community in general. Dr. Claudine Kanyamanza, who is the psychotherapist analyst in the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, asks Rwandans to refrain from actions or words that may hurt the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi. In a time like this, when you find people who are capable of thinking or even doing things that can contribute to someone's trauma, especially the genocide survivors, such actions need to be stopped, and we also remind people that there are laws and rules put in place for the specific period of commemoration. RBC reveals that 90% of victims of trauma are women. It is because these numbers are due to the fact that women are the ones who face the worst problems during the genocide against the Tutsi. However, the survivors are doing activities that improve their self-development in order to deal with their trauma. Rwanda's High Commissioner to Kenya has noted that the history of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi should be taught to younger generations so that the atrocities that were committed are never repeated anywhere else in the world. His Excellency Martin Ngoga made the remarks during an international conference in Nairobi discussing the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. We have more.
In his address, the High Commissioner reminded those present that genocide is not a natural disaster that befalls a people, rather a planned atrocity that is prepared with malice over a long period of time to exterminate.
In Rwanda, this process was fueled by years of injustice, segregation, and hate ideology, which created fertile ground for the seeds of hatred to take root. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we renew our resolve to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again, we are seeing dangerous trends of rising hate speech and intolerance in many parts of the world. Particularly troubling is the current widespread proliferation of hate speech and incitement to violence. Things that were very clearly present in Rwanda immediately before the genocide. They are an affront to our values and threaten human rights, social stability, and peace.
His Excellency Martin Ngoga told those gathered that despite Rwanda's experiences in the past, the country has been able to overcome the effects of the fastest genocide in recorded human history to develop as a united country, taking action to ensure that what happened in 1994 is never repeated, while also championing peacekeeping efforts abroad. He urged them to remember how the world watched as more than 1 million Tutsi were massacred in just 100 days, and called for them to fight genocidal ideologies in the region and beyond that threaten peace.
Foreigners who visit different genocide memorial sites in different parts of the country have continued to warn that the world should learn from what happened in Rwanda back in 1994, enough to allow it to happen again anywhere on the globe. Let's take a look at the report.
Rwanda and the world prepare to mark 30 years since the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi on Sunday. The number of foreigners visiting different genocide memorials here in Rwanda has been growing.
Well, I think history is important for all of us to know, not just as Rwandans or maybe as Americans or Europeans, because if we don't learn from it, we're doomed to repeat it, which is a famous quote, of course, from history. And it's also in most of our lifetimes. This took place, 30 years sounds like a long time, but it's not. That was a short time ago. And it's important for everyone to understand not just what happened, but I think more importantly, what allowed it to happen through the media and propaganda and through the government using the school systems to teach and divide people by ethnicity and group and physical features.
Rwanda's reputation abroad is one of the factors that have led to an increase of visitors from different parts of the world.
I was very ignorant before I came to Rwanda, and prior to being here I was in South Africa, and I was picked up by an Uber driver, and I asked where he's from. He said he was from Kigali. I said, "Oh, you're from Rwanda. I'm going there in a few weeks. I'm excited to see the nation and to learn about your history and what took place." And I asked him out of my ignorance, I said, "Are you Hutu or Tutsi?" And he said, "I am Rwandan. We are one people." And I shared that story with a tour guide when I first met here, and she was so excited that that was what he said. And he had been in South Africa for 8 years. He's been gone from Rwanda. But his response was, "I'm Rwandan. We have no tribes. We're one people."
The genocide against the Tutsi has many unique features that set it apart from other major atrocities that have been committed around the world, something that those who come to the country have noticed.
I think the main difference was that in Germany it was more like a very government orchestrated with camps and factories. It was very thorough, and it was also during a time of war. The Rwandan the genocide against the Tutsi was like the population of one country against one another. So yes, it was. I think that was the main difference.
Then, of course, there is the lesson the world ought to learn about what happened here in Rwanda.
What allowed something like this to ever happen is the most important lesson for each and every nation to understand.
This can never happen again. This may never ever happen again. You must not have any violence, people against people, family against family, neighbors, friends. Yes, there should be more unity.
Of all the genocide memorials in the country, the one at Gisozi here in Kigali has by far helped the most to tell the world of the horrors Rwandans endured in 1994, not just helping foreigners understand the brutality and speed of the genocide against the Tutsi, but also younger generations of Rwandans who were fortunate enough to be born after the darkest period in the country's history.
The plenary session of the Senate has commended the progress that has been put in effort to develop the country's agricultural cooperatives and address the challenges they have been facing, and have vowed to follow up on any lingering issues. It was noted that the cooperatives have helped to cultivate large pieces of agricultural land that had previously sat idle, while uniting farmers to drive the develop. It was also noted that the matter of poor road networks in some areas that have continued to hinder the transportation of produce to markets is also being progressively fixed by the concerned authorities as the funds become available. Management training for cooperative officials and employees has also been recommended by the senators. Into the sports world, on Thursday, two members of Paris Saint-Germain's women's team in France, namely Paulina Dudek and Oriane Jean-François, participated in a collaborative training session alongside coaches from the Rwandan Football Federation. This unique event took place jointly with young talents from the Bugesera district. Olive Nete has more.
The two players from Paris Saint-Germain's women team, along with coaches, are currently in Rwanda as part of a training program designed for aspiring talents being groomed within the PSG Academy in Rwanda. The objective of these activities is to impart the methodology and philosophy of Paris Saint-Germain to both the young players and their coaches, with the goal of advancing football development in Rwanda. Feedback from some of the youth who participated in the training sessions with these players indicates that the program holds significant value for them in their pursuit of growth within their chosen profession.
I'm thrilled.
PSG players taught us a range of techniques that are incredibly beneficial. This including passing, shooting and dribbling. I believe mastering their skills will greatly enhance my football career and provide support as I progress.
We greatly appreciated the opportunity to train with them. They taught us valuable ball control techniques and emphasized the importance of teamwork, which is essential for achieving victory. Football is my passion, and I'm hopeful that I will progress further in this career. Paulina Dudek, originally from Poland, began her football journey at the age of 11 with Stilon Gorzo before moving to Medik Konin. In 2018, she joined Paris Saint-Germain. According to Dudek, events like these training sessions hold significant importance, particularly in the context of football development.
So first of all, it's a great initiative. I really appreciate that we could be part of this. It's actually an honor for us, but we have to also say that we had a lot of fun to participate in this process. We had fun to spend some time with the children on the field. I hope there is going to be more initiative like this. I have to also say that I'm impressed about the coaches, how they work with the children. They I can see they are really professional in what they do.
Teonas Ndanguza, president of the PSG Academy in Rwanda, highlights the fruitful outcomes achieved over the past 3 years of collaboration with the team. He expresses optimism regarding the partnership's potential to significantly contribute to the advancement of football in Rwanda.
We are pleased with the progress made over the past 3 years. Since the start of our partnership, we've witnessed the development of several talented young girls, with 8 of them making significant contribution to the APR Female Football Club. Additionally, we have players representing the Kamonyi Football Club in the first division, as well as others playing for Mukura and Huye. These achievements highlight the impact of our academy in nurturing skilled players. Moreover, some have seized opportunities to join prestigious academies such as Bayern's, and others have secured scholarships to American academies. Due to their exceptional skills, we believe that through continued collaboration with PSG and our country, we can further enhance productivity and success in football development.
PSG Academy has been an integral presence in Rwanda's capital city of Kigali since 2022, and this initiative seeks to fortify its commitment to sustainable football development. The academy now aims to expand its reach to additional districts, including Bugesera and others. Olive Nete, RTV News.
And on behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, we would like to thank you very much for sticking with us here on RTV News. My name is Martina Avera. Stay safe and have a great night.